Our first date was at a popular local restaurant. We met in the parking lot. My initial thought of him was that he was nice, just kind of average. He could have used a better haircut, but that's not unusual for guys in our area. His clothes were nice, but they didn't fit him as well as they should have. He was taller than I am, which is a definite plus since I'm pretty tall. But he was also slimmer than I am. This is more of a me problem because I've always been curvy, so I'm used to getting more attention from larger guys. I have just gotten used to not feeling attractive to really fit or slim guys. Basically, I feel fat if the guy is skinnier than I am. It's not really true, but high school and college can give you a distorted sense of self-image. Our date happened to follow his most depressive period when he nearly stopped eating for several months and lost quite a bit of weight. I would not know that for some time. As first dates go, I couldn't have asked for a better one. The food was good, and he kept the conversation going when I took a minute to warm up. My anxiety kicked in. He was very funny, and he was very sweet. Neither of us have forgotten the moment when the pen he was using to sign the check essentially exploded in his hand, and the pieces went everywhere. I think he may have been mortified for a moment, but we were laughing as he picked up all of the pieces and put it back together to sign the check. Because we were having such a good time, we didn't want to end the evening. We decided to go walk around a bookstore and keep talking. He shared funny videos of my brother-in-law racing a coworker at lunch. Both men were way too old to be racing, and they've had multiple knee/back surgeries. It was almost like watching the elderly Olympics. I lived with my mother, so I couldn't invite him inside, but I briefly kissed him goodnight before I went in. That worked in my favor, because I needed to take it slowly after what happened in my previous relationship with Mr. Booty Call. Thankfully, taking it slowly didn't seem to bother him. He still texted me every night. Our second date was a traditional dinner and a movie, and it was fun. We'd both wanted to see the Thor movie, so that was an easy choice. We ran into a couple of guys from his office in line for the tickets, and I think I got brownie points for being a Marvel fan. Before going back inside my house that night, I gave him a more passionate French kiss. He later talked about this kiss often. The text messages continued every day, and I looked forward to what was going to happen next. Since you can't really talk and get to know someone during a movie, he made up for that with our third date. On our third date, he took me to a slightly more upscale restaurant. I don't go to this type of place very often, so I asked my sister for wardrobe assistance. She was so excited to play dress up with me for that date. I did have to veto some of her choices, specifically so I wouldn't fall out of the tops. Her final selection was still a bit flashier than I usually wear, but I did feel more appropriate for a date in an upscale location. I also felt like he would know I'd made an effort. He showed up with flowers that were absolutely beautiful, but I've been so out of practice with dating that I was stunned to receive them. To this day, he insists I took them, turned around, and threw them in the trash. I did not. I love those flowers, but I reacted badly. He has every right to think that's what I did. I should have smiled and possibly even squealed like a little girl. But I didn't. Because I'm broken or something. To be fair, I did take a picture and use it as my phone wallpaper for the next month. It would be several years before he gave me flowers again, and I would stupidly do exactly the same thing.
Yep.
I must be broken. The restaurant for our third date was hosting a murder mystery dinner. The show was great, but my favorite part was his trying to pretend to eat the salad when he actually hates salad. He would play with it and move it around on his plate when he knew I was watching, trying not to show me that he was a picky eater. It did not work. I may have even teased him about it. We eventually went back to my house and spent several hours in the driveway. Again, I lived with my mother, and she's nosy. We started out talking, but it wasn't long before we were kissing. He finally started fingering me and later went down on me in the vehicle for what I truthfully believed to be 4 hours. I still don't know how he kept it up that long. Afterwards, I made a joke about his being my sex slave. Little did I know that was merely a glimpse of what was to come. If you're enjoying the content and the series, please like and subscribe. It really helps. And I genuinely want to hear your thoughts, so let me know what you think.